Welcome to
Yeah.
Well, come to Yecca. I guess that's what happens when you rely on AI to generate a song for you and you thought it downloaded the whole thing, but apparently it was only like 10 seconds long. That was supposed to be like a whole minute long intro, so I had some time to possibly breathe and drink some water, but you're just gonna have to join me now. So today I am still trying to figure out this setup, obviously. I am going to do a cooking show today. So thank you guys for being here. Yecca, where we cover culture, conspiracy, carnivore, and Christ consciousness. I tried to create a little AI song where it said that, and it just kept giving me welcome to and it couldn't say Yecca. Didn't AI does not know how to say Yecca yet. So I'm gonna try to train it and teach it how to say Yecca this upcoming week. So maybe I can actually have a full song where it actually says Yecca. I tried to like enter the verbiage, like this AI song generator that I use. It says that if it doesn't pronounce a word right, then to split it up into little parts. And so I tried to do that, but it still didn't work. And then it wouldn't say consciousness either. I tried to get it to say where we cover culture, conspiracy, carnivore, and Christ consciousness, and it would just stop at Christ, which I was like, well, that's okay because it sounds easier, and Christ and Christ consciousness, it's either one is fine with me. So today I'm going to be doing a cooking show. Bear with me as I try to figure out this setup. So if you are listening to this on Spotify or anything like that, I highly recommend go to YouTube or Rumble. Rumble, I usually upload it. It's not live on Rumble, but on YouTube, I am live. So definitely check it out there if you want to see the visuals. And today I was trying to think of what foods I could make that would take me a little bit of time to actually make, but it's also not, I don't try to make things that are too complicated. And I wanted to do some like super low carb, super high protein cinnamon rolls, where the recipe is inspired by Maria Emmerich, if you're familiar with her. But my whisk, I forgot that my whisk thing is broken, and I didn't want to try to whisk the egg. So the bread base is egg whites, and I didn't want to whisk the egg whites by hand, although I could. I think the sound would have just not been good. It would have taken me a long time, and I don't know if you guys would have been able to hear me very well. Hand whisking while I'm also trying to talk. So today's going to be a cooking episode where I am going to be cooking a steak. Fancy, I know. I'm going to do a jalapeno cream cheese sauce with it. I believe I have all the stuff I have out. Maybe just a couple spices and things that I'll need to pull out. And then I will be cooking on my grill as well. I have a little kitty cat here. I had to pick her up, but then the headphones, I think they would, I don't think they're long enough to reach her. So let's see if she'll, no, she's doing her own thing. But yeah, so today I'm going to be cooking. And so I wanted to talk about, while I'm cooking and preparing all this stuff, even though I try to get the highest quality, the best source, everything, the cleanest ingredients, it's just there's lots of little nuances in the food and lots of little things that make it not perfect. And so I wanted to kind of share that stuff with you that even though you go get the grass-fed, locally sourced meat, even though you get the organic cream and the organic this and that, there's actually a lot of little problems that are in these foods that make them not completely perfect and not really the highest quality that you can get. And so even though you're paying high dollar for this stuff, even though, you know, it is cleaner than going to get the conventional stuff in the grocery store, it's still not the highest absolute perfect thing that you can get. And so it's just kind of, I wanted to talk about this stuff to kind of remind everybody like, hey, you can't be perfect no matter how hard you try. There's literally no such thing as perfection. We are all imperfect, and you know, and everything has its imperfections. And so I kind of wanted to go over these little things in the food, you know, and I'm looking at all this, and it really, especially to where I live in a small town, so I don't have access to a lot of super duper clean things. Like if you lived in Austin, there are a couple things that I could get that are a little bit cleaner if I was living in a city like Austin, that it is a little more health centered and has access to some slightly better ingredients. But then also, like, there are some things that you can get in a small town that aren't as easily accessible, or cost way more if you do live in a big city, like for example, raw milk. I have a farmer's, you know, in Austin, you can get raw milk if you pick it up at the farmer's market. If I want if I want raw cow's milk, I can go directly to the dairy. It's 30 minutes from my house, and I can buy it directly from the dairy farm, which you can't really do that in Austin. It's more of an hour long drive, or more or less, to get to this particular dairy farm. And then, you know, there's ranchers and stuff out here. I found one that's kind of, it's in between Austin and Bastrop. And so I recently bought a whole big pack of beef. It was actually two big 50-pound boxes, even though it was like a total of, I believe, 54 pounds of beef that I picked up from a local rancher. And I'll show you that. I'll show you guys what I got in my deep freezer. I have a deep freezer outside on my porch. So if you guys are seeing my porch, it's a little janky. It's so janky when I didn't realize how bad it was until I moved back here, and I already bought the property. So I do plan on rebuilding the deck. So I'm going to be putting new wood on there. I'm probably going to wait until it starts to get a little cooler, because I'm not trying to build a deck in 100-degree weather. I'm just trying to lay on the deck in 100-degree weather. So I'm going to jump on this little computer here and see. Let me give you guys a not so awkward angle. You guys are going to be coming around with me, walking around with me. I'm probably going to carry this tripod and move this tripod around a lot, because I'm going to need to be figuring out the setup and all that stuff. And so I just want to make sure everything is streaming all right. The sound is fine, all that good stuff. So if you guys have been seeing the previous episodes, I was doing some episodes on femininity, and next week I will be finishing up with a biblical femininity episode. I just wanted to take a break this week, and when I do, this is, I think, my third cooking show. So the cooking shows, when I do them, they're just so much fun. They're so easy. I don't need to have notes to be talking to you guys about food. I can literally talk about food for hours, and all, like, there's just so many things that I can branch off in regards to food and quality and health. And so it's just super easy for me to talk about food. So this episode, I wanted it to be kind of an easier episode, nothing that I needed to do a lot of research, even though I have been doing research on the biblical femininity topics. I found this really, really amazing Bible study in the Bible app. I believe it's from Wild at Heart, which I think actually is, I need to see if they have a femininity book. I think there is I'm not sure if it's even a masculinity book, but someone recommended me to read this book, Wild at Heart. And it's about men and biblical, and it's in regards to the Bible and all that stuff, and manhood, and it is very touching. It was very intense. I actually had to take a break. I've been listening to it on Spotify, and so I actually had to take a break from reading it, because it was just like pulling at my heartstrings a little too much, and I was like, this is a lot. I need to get back to this, because it was a lot to absorb. So I highly recommend checking out that book, Wild at Heart. And so I think this Bible study that I came across is it's a little shortened version of biblical femininity. And so in the style of this Bible study is very similar to the book that I've been listening to. And so Definitely recommend to check that out. But I have been studying still biblical femininity. Like I said, I wanted to take a couple weeks to study it. And so probably over the weekend, I'm going to work on putting some notes together for that. I'm going to redo that Bible study because there's a lot of stuff that I want to specifically take away from that and share it with y'all. And so I'm very excited for next week's biblical femininity episode. It's going to be very, very powerful, very insightful. And I hope it helps a lot of women and just embrace their femininity and want to just dive deep into their femininity. And overall, the 2 other episodes were just like basic femininity tips and then high value femininity tips. And so the next one, the most important one, is biblical femininity. So excited for that. So if you are into that, or if you want to, even if as a guy, you want to learn about the opposite sex, I highly recommend doing that, even though it is geared more towards women. I highly recommend for men to check out that kind of stuff because you want to be able to understand the opposite sex. So I think it's important to study both masculine and feminine sides of things. Ever since I started to try to focus more on my femininity journey, I definitely dove into traditional masculinity, biblical, traditional masculinity and biblical masculinity, and what it takes for a man to be strong. And then it just helped me end up finding out that I want a man who is physically, mentally, and spiritually strong to be my husband, not somebody who is weak, who can't lead, who doesn't know what they want in life. That is like probably the most feminine thing that a man can do, is not know what he wants to do with his life. Because a man's journey is to lead. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic because I'm really excited about next week's episode. So today I'm going to be cooking a steak on the grill. You guys are going to come out with me. I might either hop the fence or walk up and down the driveway to go to my neighbors. My neighbors behind me, they live just behind this house, but it's a little bit of a walk. So I was thinking maybe while the steak is cooking, we might do a little bit of a walk and go see their horse and give her some carrots. I have some carrots that I have cut up in my fridge, and she loves carrots. She loves me because I feed her carrots, and I brought her a salt rock. And so it's a little Mexican family, and so I always speak Spanish to them when I see them. And their horse, her name is Muñeca, so it's kind of like Yecca, super cute. Muñeca is doll in Spanish, girl doll in Spanish. And so I thought that was really cute when they told me her name, and she's so sweet. She's so cute. I want you guys to meet her. And if you guys are in the comments, you guys can take a vote on if you want me to jump the fence. I usually use a ladder if I jump the fence. Or we can just take a walk up and down the driveway. It's just a few minute walk, and then we can take some carrots over there and feed her some carrots. She's so super cute. And I have a lot of carrots, so it might be a few minutes, and it'll be a good little time killer while the steak is cooking. I have the steak here, actually. I'll show you guys. This is a sirloin. Sirloin is actually one of my favorite steak cuts. Tri-tip is, I don't know, honestly, it depends on the tri-tip, on how big the fat cap is. If it's really, really big, then sirloin is my #1 favorite cut of meat. If the fat cap on the tri-tip isn't too big, then I really, really like it. I honestly do not like super duper fatty meats. My body just does not. It's good, and I just can only eat so much fat. Like I'm not a fan of New York strips, to be honest. I think they're kind of weird. And I don't like a super duper fatty ribeye either. I would rather eat just raw beef fat with some salt on its own, but even then I can only eat so much. But I like slightly leaner cuts. Like this sirloin here is perfect. It has just a little bit of, it's kind of hard to see because of the myoglobin. If you guys didn't know, this red liquid stuff is called myoglobin, and it's just a watery liquid that is just full of protein from the meat. It is not blood. I don't know, most people say that it's blood, and sometimes I'll still call it blood just because blood is easier to say than myoglobin. But when pretty much all animals that are harvested, when they before they break the animal down, they drain all of the blood out. So this is not blood. It can't be blood because all the blood gets drained out. but it's myoglobin, and it's just basically protein water that secretes from the meat after it's been processed. For me, it's a cat treat. Some people will drink it; they'll like put it in a cup and just drink it raw. I'm not. I don't get down with that. So this is a sirloin. It's from K&C Cattle. I don't know if you guys can see that. K&C Cattle, they are a local Texas company, local Texas ranch. They have really good, pretty decent pricing, especially if you're able to get the eighth of a cow. That was what from my research, that was the best pricing that they offered out of all of their packs and all of their cow shares. It was like 802 or 805 a pound if you get the eighth of a cow. It was weird. If you got like a quarter cow or half cow, it ended up being more per pound. I'm not really sure why that is, but the eighth of a cow was actually the best price. I was not able to spend $925 on beef at this time, so I ended up going with their one that's a little bit lower. It was like $888 a pound, and you get 54 pounds of meat. I think it was like 480. Yeah, 480 for 54 pounds. So, I have been trying to find a local rancher and I forgot about them. So I checked them back out. I came across their website in my bookmarks and I was like, oh yeah, let me check this out. Found out I don't even have to drive into Austin to get there to pick up my beef, which was amazing. Anything that I need that's good, that involves getting good food and I don't have to drive to Austin, I am all about it. So it was like just before getting into Austin, and it's on like a little side freeway, and it's really cool. They have this like air conditioned shed with all these freezers in there, and they give you a code to go in the shed. There's it's nobody there, and then you go in there, you dig through the freezers, and you find your box or two with your name on it, and then you just pick it up, and that's it. And then another cool thing about them is that they offered payment plans on this, so you can pay 120 every 2 weeks, which I spend that much on groceries. I spend more than that on groceries every week. So it's because I try to eat higher quality, and and even when I buy like the natural steaks, I sometimes I'll get the organic grass-fed steaks, but they're just like so expensive. Even the sirloin steaks, I think they're like 15, $18 a pound. Sometimes I'd get lucky and I'd find like the natural brand, whatever that means, like isn't all beef natural. But I would find the natural sirloin steak. It was like $10 a pound. So I'd get like these 2 pound steaks. I would eat almost a whole one in a sitting. And I could easily eat a pound, pound and a half of that sirloin. Because like I said, it is my favorite cut. And but spending $10 to $20 a pound on steak just once or twice a week. And then sometimes, I'd go to the farmer's market and I'd splurge on a steak, and it would cost me like 20 something dollars for just one serving of steak for me. Because when you're carnivore or you eat mostly meat, like you can't get away with eating a quarter pound steak. You can't get away with eating 6 ounces or even 8 ounces for a meal, unless it's like one of your smaller meals for the day. But I do try to have one main meal where it is all meat, at least a pound. A pound and a half is the minimum amount of meat that I try to eat in a day. 2 pounds really is ideal, especially if I'm not eating anything else. If I am eating other stuff, it's really hard to meet that requirement that I have for myself, because I want to make sure I'm eating enough protein. And as a woman, right now is the time of the month where I need to be eating as much as I possibly can. So if you're not familiar with eating with your cycle, I recommend checking out Mindy Pell's. I don't agree with the food suggestions she eats pretty much at all, unless you are like super healthy and you have zero, like you are thriving eating almonds and spinach and high oxalate foods and things like that. Go for it. But if you have any sort of joint pain, like you're lethargic, mood swings, anything like that, highly recommend focusing on eating mostly, if not only, meat. So that's what I've been trying to do. I'm not perfect, still trying to get back onto strict carnivore. So today I'm going to be cooking this steak, and I do want to talk a little bit more about sirloin. A lot of people love tenderloin, like that's their favorite cut of meat, and it's good, like don't get me wrong, but God gave us teeth to chew with, okay? And so it's actually healthy and good for you to chew and to use your jaw, and it strengthens the muscles in your face, and it helps prevent you from having a little soft chin, you know, like right now I will admit I am a little bit inflamed. But when I have no inflammation, you're able to see the shape of my face a lot more. And so, you know, chewing is very important. It's important to use your face muscles. You don't want to let any of the muscles in your body go to waste. You want to be able to use all your muscles. You want to be able to chew your food. You know, I understand people get annoyed with food just getting stuck in their teeth, whatever. Like, you know, and that's a whole different kind of a different thing, because sometimes your teeth aren't straight and stuff, so you might have little gaps in your teeth and things like that. But I love sirloin. It's not super tough. It has just enough chew. It's doesn't have too much fat. It has just a little bit of marbling all throughout. I'm trying to see if I can get it. I'll show you guys maybe a little bit better when I pull it out. But so this locally sourced grass-fed steak, you know, you think it's the best quality, the best thing that you can get, and you know, in a way, it kind of is if you're not raising cattle and harvesting them yourself, because this right here. You think this is paper? No, it's plastic. It's wrapped in plastic. It's vacuum sealed in plastic, actually. So it's the plastic is like really close to this meat. It's touching this meat a lot. So there may or may not be microplastics in here. So, you know, that's one thing that I just wanted to point out. You know, even though I'm paying high quality money for this, this is a pretty decent deal, actually. You know, $8.88 for some grass-fed, grass-finished, locally sourced sirloin steak. That's a really good deal. But, you know, I got to also pay the price of possibly consuming microplastics. But then again, the good thing about sourcing locally is that this most likely isn't very, very old. They probably harvested it not too long ago. So it's not in here for too long. And if you're wondering, why am I letting this sit out for so long? Because it's actually really ideal to let your meat sit out for an hour before you cook it. The closer you bring it to room temperature, the better it's going to cook more evenly. And you know, it's the colder it is, which, you know, obviously people that have like air fryers, which I'm not going to get into how bad those are. People that have air fryers, they always tell and brag about how you can cook a steak from frozen and it comes out fine, blah, 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 all that stuff. But if you're not using one of those toxic air fryers full of PFAs and heavy metals and other things that you can look into, and you're just grilling it or searing it in a pan, it's ideal to bring this to room temperature. It doesn't shock the meat as much, which when you have the meat frozen or very cold and you put it straight on a super duper hot grill or pan, it's going to shock the meat and it's going to make it a little bit more tough when you cook it. So it's best to bring it to room temp. An hour is a very ideal time to have this set out for. And so I've actually had this set out for a little bit or more than an hour. So I'm going to cut this open, put this on a cutting board. But first, I think it'd be important to turn the grill on and get that hot, right? Let me see here, you guys. Let's see where I can put this camera next. Come with me over here. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna hop down here and get a cutting board real quick. So, and while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my seasonings. So I got my Redmond real salt. I know there's a lot of controversy coming out on Redmond real salt with heavy metals, third-party testing. I'm not really sure. You know, it's so hard. Like, how do I know who to trust? I don't know who to trust anymore nowadays. So I just bought 10 pounds of Redmond real salt. I am not going to just throw it away because it cost me like 50 bucks. So I'm going to go through this. I also have some Celtic sea salt, which apparently also has heavy metals. Everything is poison nowadays. Can't avoid it. So, and then I have some organic ground black pepper, which honestly, I just buy it from Amazon. When you live out in the country, unfortunately, Daddy Bezos is the easiest way to get some cleaner ingredients. So, you know, but also it comes in a plastic container, and then I put it in this little glass container, which I guess I'll refill here since we're here and I got the plastic bottle out. I'll refill this here, but it's just cheaper to buy it in bulk. So if you buy your spices in the grocery store in just like the little containers like this individually, you know, if I bought this in the grocery store, organic ground black pepper, this would be like $7 or $8 for organic ground black pepper. I believe this was like $18, and it fills my thing up like, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 times. So definitely recommend investing in buying spices in bulk online. I'm sure there's other websites. Z Natural Foods is, I think they do have spices on there. You can check them out. I don't have a link. It's just a company that I've used for several years for certain things. But yeah, definitely get your spices in bulk and your salts in bulk online. You will definitely save if you are buying that stuff in the grocery store in individual packs. I have some garlic as well. It came in a bag, but oh yeah, so it came in a bag, but I just put it in this little yogurt jar for easier scooping. I have a little scoop in here, so get some garlic out. Let's see, we will put some Worcestershire, and if you don't know how to pronounce it, it's pronounced Worcestershire. Okay, so there you go. I just solved it for the whole world, and I don't know why it's so hard for people to to say it. Most people say just Worcestershire, but the actual pronunciation is Worcestershire. Worcestershire, and this is probably the worst food that I have in my house. This is the dirtiest thing. It's not organic. It's not like, it does have sugar in the ingredients. That's probably the worst thing in here. But all the organic and all the every single other Worcestershire sauce that I have seen and come across, it has soy in it, and this does not have soy in it. So if you get the actual Lee and Perrins brand, this is the only brand that I have come across in the stores that does not have soy in it. So make sure you're getting the OG Lee and Perrins brand. If you do get Worcestershire sauce, you know, it does say water in the ingredients, which is kind of something that you want to look out for, because that can just be tap water. And who wants to drink tap water? Nobody. There's poison in the tap water. So a lot of people talk about how, oh, you can boil the tap water and it's better for you. Actually, no, because it's full of chemicals, and then you're just having chemical soup water. So boiling tap water is not the best thing for you that you want to do. And then I want to pulse out some of this beef tallow that I'm going to put on the steak. I wish I bought my friend's beef tallow ungovernable project. I am going to be teaming up with them for my bakery that I'm going to launch soon. And so I really wish I did not get this one. I wish I splurged on ungovernable project. Wait, yeah, ungovernable project. They have the best tallow, and I've never even tried their stuff, and I already know it's the best tallow. I've talked with the owners. I've met the owners. They're really cool. They are some like hardcore Christians, and they love God, and they stand by their product, and they work their butts off. I'm always watching how hard they work on social media and stuff like that, and I love what they stand for so much. That I, you know, want to support their business, and you can definitely see God moving big in their business, because they have so many customers, and they're doing really, really big, awesome things over there. So if you're looking for a super duper high quality tallow, check out Ungovernable. That's harder to say than Worcestershire sauce. Ungovernable Project, super high quality tallow. So check them out, you guys. I think that's all. I'm pretty simple. I don't get crazy with the spices. So we are gonna, I left the steak over here. So you guys, let's go this way, and we're gonna come back here, and I'm gonna cut the steak open here, and I'm looking for my little cat bowl. I guess I'll just, you guys can come with me here. And I'm gonna grab this here. Their little milk bowl. I'll share my raw milk with the cats sometimes, but I'll put this little myoglobin juice in there for the Kit Kats, and we'll get this steak up and ready, and then we'll go outside, get some sunshine, and get that grill going. And then I'm going to put some beef tallow on the steak here. So I am going to turn this camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing here, so you don't look at my face just looking down at this steak. And let me just Get this out. And let's see. I know I've done this before, so. Nope, that's not it. I think I'm supposed to have it. Here we go. Facing back. Okay, and then this is my countertop here. Let's see. Okay, turn it a little bit more down for you guys. There we go. This seems like a really weird angle, doesn't it? Let me see here, camera. There we go. That is normal. More normal. Camera might be dirty. Sorry, you guys. I usually have greasy fingers from all this meat I eat. So here we go. Here is the steak. Let me grab a napkin to pat this down. So I like to pat the steak down because it just has a better sear when you pat it dry. And we'll get these scissors out of the way here. And I don't know, you know, a lot of people recommend putting salt on the outside, but I've been having trouble. It's just the salt ends up just sticking to the grill and it doesn't give me that delicious crust. And I've done it before, but I think I did it in the oven. So I'm not really sure. If anybody can give me some insight on that, that would be very great. But otherwise, I'm going to get some of this beef tallow and my little brush here. Oh, can somebody open this jar for me? There we go. And I'm just going to put some on here. Let's see. That way I don't double dip. And I'm just going to coat this with a little bit of beef tallow. Here. Let's see if we can flip it. Yep, there we go. Flip it like that. And then put a little more beef tallow on here. Now my grill, I have a propane grill, so it won't take that long to heat up. And if you guys are looking for beef tallow, don't get this in the store. I got it at H-E-B. It has a very toasty beef tallow flavor, like they kind of overcooked it a little bit, so it's really not good. Highly don't recommend this. Obviously, it was expensive. The Ungovernable Project is going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's going to be super clean. It's going to be from the kidney fat, which is like the highest. It's like one of the most nutrient-dense fat parts of the cow. So I'm just going to baste this like that with some beef tallow, and voila, we are ready to go. And so now this stuff smells so strong, you guys. We're going to flip back over. Flip this camera back here. Camera 1. Hello. This is fun, right? Okay, and then I'm going to go turn the grill on. You guys can come with me. Let's see. Make sure this does not fall. All right. Let's get this grill going outside, you guys. Oh, here, I'll show y'all my meat. Let's see if I can show you guys without having to flip the camera around, because it's crazy. It takes me a whole minute to flip it around. Okay. Let's see here. So I got my freezer in here. So this is, let's see, can you guys see that? This is all the meat, or not all the meat. I took out all the ground beef. It's in its own container, but that looks really awesome. So there's a lot of really cool cuts in there, and that's the cool thing about buying um, from cow shares and buying your beef in bulk. You get a bunch of cuts that you wouldn't normally buy in the grocery store, and so you get to learn and practice different ways of how to cook them, and it's a lot of fun. You know, meat can be really fun. So you guys can let's see. I don't know what to do with you guys. This is crazy. I need a better setup. So I'm going to be turning on the propane here. Let's see. And there we go. Okay. Turn the propane on with my propane and propane accessories. And then I'm going to take this earbud out so I can hear if it turns on. Today would be the day that the propane runs out, right? Okay, it's not. All right. So I am going to give this a quick little cleaning here. And I'll shut this lid here. Get this nice and hot. And we'll be ready to go in just a couple minutes, and I'll go over the jalapeno cheese stuff that I'll be making. Let's come on this way. We're gonna go back inside. Oh goodness. Here we go. There we go. So I'm gonna switch the camera and show you guys what I'm going to be putting in this jalapeno cream cheese sauce. I see the timer's at 37, so we'll give the grill about 3 minutes to heat up. And I'll flip this camera back around. I'm getting a little better at it. So if you guys notice my pantry, I live in a tiny house, so this is my pantry here. I'm able to see all the things that I have, and I don't want to have dirty ingredients. So having this open pantry, it's kind of like keeps me on track. And like you can see everything I have. Like, I'm not embarrassed of anything that I have here. I'll go show with you. I have some organic instant coffee. I have some supplements up here: colostrum, creatine, super awesome, organic seaweed wraps, and some sardines, or my organic spices, my Texas olive oil, Texas balsamic, avocado oil, which I know is a controversial one, but when I eat seed oils, I have side effects, and I can tell you I don't have side effects from this avocado oil. My Redmond real salt. This is one of my favorite sea salts. If you guys like me were growing up having Lowry's seasoning salt, this is so close to it. So I love this stuff for everything. I don't have a lot of spices. I need to get back into getting some more spices, because then I can get really creative with recipes. I have these little stir flavor things in the summer. I like them. I try not to drink these too much though, because they do have citric acid in them. And like, so does this. I didn't realize this. I bought this. Sometimes I make the mistake of buying something from a company that uses clean ingredients in one product, but then they'll have another product, a new product, and I'm like, ooh, that's awesome, I want to try it. And then I don't read the ingredients. So I highly recommend always check the ingredients, even though you buy stuff from them that have other products that are super clean ingredients, because this has citric acid in it, and I can taste it. And like, why does something like that's supposed to be creamy and vanilla tasting have citric acid? It just like makes it really weird and not as good. So and my eggs and stuff. And so I keep, these are grocery store eggs. I normally get from a my local egg dealer, where she has her fresh, natural, unwashed eggs. I just get eggs from the grocery store, you guys, and I do not refrigerate it. And my dad recently asked me, well, how long are they good not refrigerated? I don't know. They're good however long you need them to sit out for, because I don't keep track of them, and sometimes they're out for weeks, maybe a month or so, and they're still good. So pro tip, Eggs, even from the grocery store, are still good outside the fridge. I have a tiny fridge. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Very tiny. It's on a stand. And so the tiny fridges, the bad thing about the tiny fridges is that they freeze in the back very easily. So I don't like that. I see that it has been more than 3 minutes. So we're going to go over the sauce later, and we're going to go back outside. And I got my grill here. I mean, I got my steak here with me. It's as big as my head. It's 0.9 pounds of a steak. I got my little tongs outside. I'm going to take a little bit of water with me because it's getting a little parched here, and it's kind of hot outside. And whose idea was it to do a cooking show at noon in the Texas summer? I don't know, but I need to have a talk with them. So here we go, outside. These awkward camera angles. I can definitely smell that the grill is hot enough, you guys. So here we go to the grill. It is 550 degrees. So I'll set this here. And I believe that is hot enough. And I'm wondering if I should flip the camera or not, because I think I'm just going to put the steak on and go inside and show you guys the sauce. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit to medium. And then, pro tip, yeah, always clean the tongs before cooking. It makes the food taste better. I want you guys to see this grill go on the steak, because who doesn't want to see a grill go on the steak? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and turn this camera here. There we go. And come down here. How does this work? There we go. This right here is a hot spot on the grill. And you got that nice sear. I'm gonna scoop up some of this tallow that was on the cutting board. All right. Welcome back to my face, you guys. Oh, there's a kitty cat. What do you guys, these cats are, I guess, are scared of the camera because they all just ran away. So we're gonna make this little cream cheese sauce. And I guess I'll turn the camera back around because we are here in the kitchen. And I guess I should have cleaned the camera a little bit for you guys. Sorry about that. So got my little stainless steel pot and got this weird stove here. I don't like this stove really. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna turn this on. This thing, it only goes like in weird temperatures. So it goes from 140, 210, 260, 300, 350, 390, 430, 460, I think is the highest. Yeah. So I normally cook stuff at 210, which sometimes it's too hot. And then I go to 140 and then that's not hot enough. So I wish there was an in-between, but there just is not. So this sauce is going to be super easy. I'm going to keep an eye on the time. If anybody knows what a good time is for grilling a steak, please let me know in the comments, because I'm still learning how to grill. Not very well versed in grilling. I know I can watch videos and stuff to learn, but I'm trying to learn other stuff right now, and I don't really want to be a griller my whole life. So I use my little dirty wooden spoon. I'll get some of these jalapenos out. Let's see if I use a fork, because I don't really want this juice in here. So I'm going to leave these whole. You can chop these up if you want, but today we're doing a lazy sauce, and even that might be too hot. We're going to start with lower for now, and then going to cook some of these jalapenos, get them a little sauteed. Hopefully it'll soften the flavor up a little bit. And there's that. So these are some organic, let me go over these ingredients. There's some organic nacho sliced jalapenos. The ingredients are organic jalapenos, water, vinegar, sea salt, and it also contains calcium chloride and organic turmeric. Bad ingredient in here could be water. It just says water. It doesn't say filtered water, distilled water, purified water, nothing. When ingredients say water, be aware that it most likely is tap water. So organic, you think it's perfect, you think it's the best you can get, it's the more expensive one. Lo and behold, it's made with tap water. They just made it poopy organic peppers. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see, I'm going to chop some of these up here with this fork. That'll be good enough for me. I try not to eat too much spicy stuff. It's I might actually turn this into a jalapeno hot sauce. I like that a lot better than jalapenos. I bought these to make some Texas, I think it's called Texas tartare. I'm not sure. Somebody told me about it, and I looked and I couldn't really find it, but Texas tartare is with ground beef, jalapenos, shredded cheese, and you normally eat it with crackers, obviously, but you can just eat it by itself. And I remember somebody from the farmer's market shared that with me when I was working the farmer's market, and I just started doing carnivore. And you know, she noticed me like week after week. I was just coming to the market, losing more and more weight and getting thinner. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" And I told her, and then she hopped on it. And she came to the market one day. She sold bison, and so she did that with her ground bison, and she was just eating straight ground bison raw with jalapenos and cheddar, and she gave me some, and it was so good. So that's what I bought these for, to make some of that, because I love having tartare in the summer. It's just like so easy. You don't need to cook. You don't just throw it all in a bowl and bam, you're done. So I'm going to put some of these in here, and then turn this back up here. And then I'm going to add the seasonings in now. It'll be easy to mix in to everything else when you put it in first. So I'm going to put, this is about maybe a teaspoon of garlic powder. You can do fresh garlic if you want as well. And then I'm going to put this much of black pepper, probably about half a teaspoon. And we'll go ahead and do about maybe a quarter teaspoon of salt. I don't know, that looks like maybe half a teaspoon. So we'll saute this up here a little bit. And then this is the cream cheese that I love to get. It's like $3 something at H-E-B. It's lactose free. It's they are grass fed. If you look up on their website, they're grass fed most of their lives, except for, you know, in the winter and stuff when it's hard to be grass fed. So they do supplement them. I don't remember if it was with grain or with hay. So you can double check on their website and see what they supplement if you really care about that stuff. But this one actually is clean. You know, it is in plastic too, so that is the one issue with this one. But the reason why I love this is because there's no gums, there's no fillers. It's literally pasteurized cultured cream, lactase enzymes, sea salt, and live and active cultures. So this has beneficial digestive enzymes and living cultures in there. So highly recommend finding this if you want to get some really clean cream cheese. They also have sour cream that I like to get as well. I see this is getting a little toasty over here. So this is 8 ounces. I'm going to put, let's see, I don't want to put 4 ounces. I think that might be a little too much. This looks like maybe 3 ounces of cream cheese in here. And, you know, measuring with your heart is key a lot of times with cooking. So I've gotten good with measuring with my heart. So this is some cream. We're going to put about, let's see, 2 ounces of cream in there, and just let that simmer a little bit. So at my store, this is unfortunately the best cream that you can get. A lot of organic dairy in the store is ultra pasteurized, which is like the worst kind of pasteurization. It kills absolutely everything. And, but sometimes I just, I use cream for specific recipes. I think I actually bought this to make ice cream with, and I never made it. Oops. And so I'm just going to clean up that mess because of OCD here. There we go. And so we'll heat this up for a second. Try not to cough because this jalapenos and pepper is getting to me. So you just let that simmer. Super easy. I actually don't think I'm going to put I'll just put a little bit. Put just a couple dashes of this in here. I want it to kind of be a whiter sauce, but this just has so much flavor in there that I really like to use this in, excuse me, you got me, in a lot of stuff. Even if you just use a little bit. So there you go. You can see that the cream cheese is melting, and I see 5 minutes have passed. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and we're going to go outside, and you're just going to stay on this camera angle. Oops, just kidding. And we're going to go see how this is doing here. It's looking pretty good. I think this fell, so let me see here. All right. And so a lot of people are worried about, like, oops, maybe it's not ready to flip. Someone told me that if it sticks to the grill, it's not ready. So let me blast this. Try to maybe unstick it a little bit. I thought the fat would have helped a little bit. Okay. And if you like to put the grill marks, you turn it at 45-degree angle, but I'm not going to get crazy with the grill marks because, like I said, I'm still learning how to grill. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Kind of see it. The sun is crazy bright right now. It's like at high noon, so you can see. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna flip that there. Put it on high. Couple taps for good luck, and then we are gonna go back inside and finish that sauce up, and then hopefully when we come back, this will be ready. So here we go, back inside the house. Smells like jalapenos in here. And I'll turn this back on. Put it at 210. Finish up this sauce. And this sauce is like so easy. And you could, you can put like bacon in here. You can put some shredded cheese if you want. I'm just trying to keep it super simple, super easy for you guys. One thing when people are eating carnivore, sometimes they miss sauces. And so, or, you get tired of just eating boring steak all the time. I'm just kidding. Steak by itself is delicious. Sometimes I don't even put pepper on my steak. I just put salt, and that's it. And, I know a lot of people like to put butter on their steak. And honestly, just give me steak with salt and leave it red on the inside, and I'm good. So this sauce here, super easy. I love jalapeno poppers. So this is kind of giving like jalapeno popper vibes. And it's super duper easy to make, super nutrient dense. It's a little bit different. It's kind of, a little bit like a gravy. I think I might actually put a little bit of more heavy cream. Oh, it's getting too bubbly. So put a little more cream. So another thing too about this cream is it does have gelin gum in there, which, when you buy cream, you don't really want to have gums in there. And all heavy cream in the store pretty much has gums or some other ingredient in there. The only one that I've been able to find that does not have other stuff in there, and the best dairy that you can get in the store is Kalona, Kalona. And so they are low temp pasteurized, and they don't have any gums or fillers or anything. It's just the milk, or it's just the dairy. It's just the cream. It's just the half and half. It's just half cream, half milk. But when you buy their milk, it's literally like half and half because it has usually has a big, thick um, thing of cream in there at the top. Sometimes it plops out like butter. So definitely check that out there. I know that they are in Whole Foods. So if you have a Whole Foods near you, I don't really like to support Whole Foods, and it is linked to Amazon, which I use Amazon, so whatever. Um, but the Kelowna, it's worth it just to go to the Kelowna, because even if you get the gallon of milk, it's affordable. Like it's $6 or $7, and it's small, family farmed owned, so super high quality. We're gonna do a little taste test. Definitely jalapeno flavored, guys. But I think we're good here. I'm gonna turn that off and lock this baby up. And I guess I'll turn the camera around for a minute, you guys. I'm sure this is going to be a really awkward angle. Let's see here. Hello. Welcome back. This is so weird. I wish I had a better camera setup, but I don't. So this is how it's going to go. And I'm just going to check here. Let's see. Hey, free thinker, just seeing in the comments on here. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for always joining in. I really appreciate you being here. And I'm going to check and see if we have any comments on Facebook. Sometimes I don't show up on my StreamYard. So let's see. No comments there. So we are going to, let's see, did I cover all those ingredients? Yeah, I covered all the ingredients. So just wanted to share with you guys, that even though you think you're buying the best quality ingredients, it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be the super duper high quality, even though it is the most expensive thing, even though it is cleaner than getting conventional stuff. But I'm just here to remind you that it's okay. It's okay that you don't get the super duper clean ingredients. You just do the best that you can and do the best that you can afford, even if you can only afford the conventional ingredients. Sorry, I just saw a cat running across the field, I believe. So let's see. Let's go check on that steak. And let me give you guys a better camera angle because this is just so weird. Oh, there she is. That's my kitty cat girl right there, Tina. She is my cuddle baby, and I love her, and I've had her since she was a baby, and she is one of the cats that I've had the longest. She just turned 5 years old. So let's go see if we can see that horse. You know what? So I can see what's going on better here. I don't normally wear glasses, but I do have them for when it is super duper bright. Some days you're just fatigued and it's hard for you to be outside without glasses on. And I don't normally wear them, but I do have them in case of emergencies. And so right now it's an emergency. So I'm gonna look cool for my health. So let's see here. I'm gonna go over here. Usually I can see her from the grill. Just jump down. I'm just gonna see. There she is. Hi, Carol. You guys see her? I still can't see with these glasses on. Maybe you guys can. She should be. Oh, there she is, right there. That's the muñeca. She's so cute. Sorry, we don't have time to give her carrots on the show today, but I will be taking her some carrots later today. So this way here, I'm gonna flip the steak and flip this camera. Boop-a-doo-doo. A lot of people are like worried about getting a clean cutting board after having the raw meat on there, but honestly, I don't see the problem. Like it's not like eating raw meat, raw beef is bad for you. Like I was just telling you how I eat tartare in the summer. So, oh yeah, this is done. This might be a little too done. This part, why does this thinner part feel? Anyways, we're gonna call this done. It might not even be done. Let me use my fingers, you guys. I know it's probably hot, but okay. Probably medium rare, which is a little much for me, but we're just gonna roll with it. So there is the beautiful steak that we are going to slice and then put some of that yummy cream sauce on there. But yeah, like I said, eating raw meat it's not bad for you. So I do use the same cutting board after cooking a steak because I don't want to make extra dishes, and I really don't see the problem with it. So we're going to take this beautiful steak and go back inside on this fun little journey. I'm going to try to keep this steak on the view for y'all. Oh, I ran into a problem, you guys. I only have 2 hands. As long as I should. Letting it rest for about 5 minutes is ideal. So I don't want you guys to see those. There we go. And we'll get this cat juice out the way here. And I'm going to get my trusty Cutco knife and probably a napkin because it's going to leak everywhere. Ooh. Let's see. I didn't realize it was going to take me over an hour just to cook a steak. I guess I babbled on a little bit more than I expected I would. But let me grab this sauce over here. Here's that. And a beautiful knife. And so as soon as it comes off the grill, I do like to put the salt on there since I didn't salt it before. Heavily salt. God wants us to salt our food, okay? We are the salt of the earth. So eating salt is key. Eating salt will not give you high blood pressure or heart attack or anything that the mainstream doctors will tell you. Definitely do not be afraid of salt. Here we go. I'm going to slice into this, the moment of truth. Oh yeah, it feels more like medium actually. medium well. Oh well. And that is why we have sauce, for when you accidentally overcook your steak. And the middle might be okay actually. It looks all right. I went and had a steak last night for dinner, and oh, they cooked it so good. You know, they probably have like those broilers or something. And so the moment of truth here, you guys. It's a little more done than I would like, but it'll do. It'll do. So that is a good medium. I don't know, maybe medium well, but we will make this look very nice, and it's still going to taste very delicious. And I'm not going to put any pepper on there because there is enough pepper in that jalapeno pepper sauce. And here we go. I'll get a regular spoon for this, and we'll spoon some of this on here and get some of this meaty myoglobin juice out the way to make it look nice. And I'll get some of this creamy sauce and put this down the middle for some nice presentation. You get a little spoon, and you don't want to glop it on all over. You just do a little line in the middle. And there we go. There we have it. There is a beautiful steak with some jalapeno cream cheese sauce, y'all. Super easy. It does not need to take an hour. I think it just took an hour because I was talking a lot in the beginning. And so I want to thank you guys so much for coming on here. Let's see if you guys can see me. Thank y'all so much for joining me on another episode of Yecca. And these cooking shows are always so much fun, even though it was kind of weird trying to figure out all the different camera angles. But it's always a learning process. Maybe one day I'll have a better setup for cooking episodes. I'll have some extra cameras and things like that. But until then, you guys can just bear with me while I grow and learn and do all these weird camera angles. So thanks again, you guys. Stay tuned for next week's episode. I'm really, really excited to talk about biblical femininity, as I was saying earlier. And I hope you guys have a blessed week. And I love you guys all. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.